Hi, and welcome to the EdTech District. My name is Michael, and in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use a Google Sheets add-on called Autocrat to streamline and automate the process of generating certificates for webinars and other PD sessions. Now, I just started off with this channel, so if you like the content, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any future videos. Also, you can let me know if there's anything that you want me to cover in my videos by writing a comment below. Now let's get on with today's topic. What I want to do in particular now is I want to set up a Google form that enables participants to provide feedback at the end of a PD session, asks them for their email address, and then automatically sends a training certificate in PDF format to their email address. Therefore, I need 4 components. I need a Google form that collects the data. I need a spreadsheet, which means a Google Sheet that stores it. I need the Google Doc that contains the template for the certificate. And I need Autocrat as a link between the Google Sheet and the Google Doc. And this is what it looks like in the wild, so to say. I have now organized 2 of my files in my Google Drive. I've created a folder called Google Classroom Webinar Files because I want to have everything nicely together and not scattered in my Google Drive. I have created the certificate template as a Google Doc, and I have created my Google form. I'll show you the certificate template first, which is here. So what I've done is I've added logos and the standard text, that somebody has successfully completed the seminar and so on. And I've added 2 tags. Tags are used by Autocrat to know where in the template it should fill in the data. So my first tag, or my first placeholder, so to say, is the name of the participant. And Autocrat needs the placeholders or tags to be written with double angle brackets, just like this. So I put the name placeholder over here, and the second placeholder that I put is called today. And today will automatically fill in the date of when the Google form was submitted. So this certificate is always up to date. So this is what the certificate template looks like. 2 placeholders, name and date. That's all it is. Now I need a Google form to collect the responses and to ask the participants for their name and email address. So my Google form looks like this. I'm asking standard questions. I have a scale from 1 to 5. How did you like the webinar? Provide some feedback and so on. And then the 2 most important parts are the participant's email address, which I'm asking for here, and the participant's name as it should appear on the certificate, which is down here. So I've set up I have set up 2 out of 4 components, right? I've set up the certificate template and I've set up the form. The next one I need is the spreadsheet to store all the data. And I can generate that automatically by clicking on responses in my Google form and by clicking on the green Create Spreadsheet button. It will ask me if I want to create a new one or select an existing one. Now I want to create a new one, so I click on Create. It will now open a new tab where you will see it's blank for now because nobody has filled in any data in the form yet. And all these questions that I have in my Google form are now the headers of the columns. As soon as somebody fills in the form, it will add 1 row per form submission. The next thing I need to do is I need to install the add-on Autocrat in my Google Sheet. And I do that by clicking on Add-ons, Get Add-ons, which will now bring me to the G Suite Marketplace. And it will list the most popular add-ons at the top. And you can see that Autocrat is right there on top. If for some reason you don't see it, you can use the search bar and look for it. But it's called Autocrat. So I click on that. And then to install it, I will click on that big blue install button. It might be that it's grayed out and you don't have access to any add-ons, and then you need to talk to your G Suite administrator to either install it for you or to whitelist the add-on. So for now, I click on install. It will ask me for a bunch of permissions because it's a powerful tool. It can do a lot of stuff, so it needs a lot of permissions. I need to sign into my account again. I will grant all these permissions, which you can read through on your own. And after I do that, it should take a few seconds and it will be added to my Google Sheet. So let's see how long this thing is going to take. There you go. Click on Done. I close the marketplace. And now, again, I click on Add-ons. You can see it's now added to my Google Sheets. There's Autocrat, and I open Autocrat. It opens a wizard that will guide me through the entire process. The first thing we have to do is we have to create a new job for Autocrat to perform. Now we have to give it a nice name. In my case, since it's for a Google Classroom webinar, I would just say Classroom Webinar, maybe mailer or certificate mailer. We click on Next. Now it will ask me to choose a template. And the template is this one that I created earlier. So I click on From Drive because I have already created one. It's in my recent files right here, this one. Select. It will fetch the tags now. So you can see over here, my Google Classroom certificate document is now in Autocrat. I click on Next. Now I have to tell Autocrat what that name tag that I put in my form, in my certificate, remember that was this one. Autocrat has already automatically discovered it. I need to tell Autocrat, what does this map to? And since this is going to be the name of the participants, in my form, that question was your name as it should appear on the certificate. So now Autocrat knows that whatever appears in this column, your name as it should appear in the certificate, is going to end up in the Google Doc, in my certificate template, in the name placeholder. And it's going to be a standard thing. I could add hyperlinks, images, or checkbox, but in our case, standard is the way to go. We click on Next. And next we have to tell Autocrat the file name that we want to have for our new files that it's going to create for us. So every time somebody fills in the Google form, Autocrat will generate the certificate file, and therefore I would just say Classroom Certificate. If I don't do anything else, and let's say 5 people fill in the form, I will have 5 files that are named Classroom Certificate, and I don't know which one is for which person. I don't really want that. I want to add the name of the person to the file name. And the way I do that is I open this bar right here by clicking on that blue thing. Not really sure what it's called. Pop-out thing. And you can see that Autocrat is now listing all the items, all the headers for our columns, and it has automatically included the angle brackets because it needs tags to work. And since we want to add the name, I click on the your name as it should appear on the certificate. And when I click on it, it's going to be automatically copied into my clipboard. So maybe I add an underscore just to make it look nicer. And if I click Control and V, then I can paste this tag in this field. And now for every response that I get in my form, Autocrat will generate a file that looks like classroom certificate underscore and then the name that the people put into the form. And I want to generate what kind of file. In my case, it's a PDF. We'll leave multiple output mode. That's fine. Click next. Then we have to tell Autocrat in which folder we want to save the new files. In my case, since the form and the spreadsheet are already in this one, I'll leave it as it is. You can click on choose folder and choose a folder that you like. But in my case, I just leave it like that. Next, we don't have to add a dynamic folder reference. We can skip this step. We also don't have to set a merge condition. So we click on next. This one is now the important bit because this is where we tell Autocrat when and how we want to share or send our certificates. So we want to share it, yes, because we want other people to get them. I cannot select anything over here because if you remember, we set it up or we told Autocrat that we want to generate PDFs. Do we want collaborators to reshare? No. Do I want to send my emails from a generic no reply address? Yes, that's probably not a bad idea because otherwise it would be sent as, or the sender would be your email address. So if you value your privacy, or if you just want to use that generic no reply address, then you can do that. Now, next, who do we want to send it to? Again, we click on that blue pop-out thing, and we click on this. If you'd like your certificate emailed to you, please enter your email address here. So this column will contain the email address of the participant. So I click on it. It's now copied into my clipboard, and then I paste it in here. The tags are there. Everything is good. Then you could add CC, BCC, reply to. Then the subject would be congratulations. Here's your certificate. Type a message. Hi. Again, we can use your name as it should appear on the certificate. Click on it to copy it, paste it in, comma. Thank you for participating. Attached, please find your certificate. Best regards, and then your name. That's it. We click on next. And now we have to tell Autocrat when to do all of that. When should it be sending those emails? And we want to run this script, or we want to run or work Autocrat every time somebody fills in the form. So we have to run on form trigger, yes. Now the thing is, before we can tell Autocrat to run on a form trigger, we have to enable the triggers first. So we click on yes. It's now updating the project triggers, which means it has now enabled it. And that's it. It runs on a form trigger. So now we click on save. It's saving the job. And once it's saved, then hopefully in a few seconds, it should show up in our job list. There you go. This is our job that we have set up right now. You can see a couple of buttons. First one is you can run the job. So you could do it manually. However, we set up a trigger, right? So we don't have to do that. Then you can edit your job. You can preview the job details, or you can delete the job. Then just going back to the triggers, you can manage them. You can see that the time trigger is now enabled and the form trigger is enabled too. That's what it asked for before. The trigger owner is my account right now, Demo Teacher 1. And that would be the email address that shows up when you don't select a generic no reply email address. Okay, so in order to test this now, I'll just copy this email address. Again, I'll save it. In order to test the whole thing, I will now go to my form. I will view the form. I will fill it in. So this one is necessary. I'll give myself 4 out of 5. I don't have to fill this one in. Then I need my email address and I need my name. And then I submit my form. Response has been recorded. Let's switch back over here. And you can see that now I've added, or Google Forms has automatically added all the data that I filled in. Then Autocrat is now working in the background. See, it has added a couple of columns that it needs to work. And while I was talking, it completed the job. It successfully created the document. As the form owner, I could now view the PDF. I can, view the link to the merged doc and so on. But what we are now interested in, was it actually sent to this email address? So to check that one, I'll just open my Gmail and see if it was actually mailed to me. Congratulations, here's your certificate. Look at that. Hi, demo teacher. Thank you for participating. Attached, please find your certificate. Best regards. Now let's check it out, what it looks like. There you go. My name shows up over here. The date is over here. And I've completed the webinar. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. And I hope it could help you save some time in the future. Thank you for watching.